right, let's get right into it. There's a high-stakes economic rivalry heating up right next to Singapore, which, as you know, is one of the busiest trade hubs on the entire planet. We're talking about two powerful economic zones going head-to-head for billions of dollars in global investment.
So that really brings us to the core question here. What actually happens when two ambitious neighbors are fighting for the exact same prize? This isn't just a story about spreadsheets and numbers. It's about strategy, ambition, and really the future of the entire Southeast Asian economy. So, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll set the stage for this new rivalry. Then we'll meet the contenders, get to know who's in the ring. After that, we'll look at their battle plans for luring in investors and also expose some of the cracks in their armor. Then we'll follow the money, see who's actually winning so far, before we ask the big question at the end: what does the final round really look like?
Okay, so this all kicks off with one thing: location, location, location. Both of these zones are sitting right on the Malacca Strait, which is the second busiest shipping lane in the world. Being neighbors with Singapore, a total titan in global finance and logistics, well, that just turns this whole region into a giant magnet for companies that want to build things, make things, and ship them everywhere. So, let's meet our two main competitors. Think of it like a title fight. In one corner, you've got the established veteran, the one who's been around the block, and in the other, a seriously powerful new challenger. And this one's backed by two different countries. Let's see how they stack up.
So, in the first corner, you have Batam from Indonesia. It's been an official free trade zone for over a decade, but its history as an industrial site goes all the way back to the 70s. This is the resilient veteran. It has a proven track record. And in the other corner, you've got the brand new Johor Singapore Special Economic Zone, or JSSE for short. This thing is a massive, incredibly ambitious project between Malaysia and Singapore, and their goal is to create a seamless, cross-border economic powerhouse.
And when I say massive, I really mean it. The planned area for this JSSE is 3,500 square kilometers. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that is almost 5 times the size of Singapore. So yeah, this isn't just another project, this is a huge statement of intent.
So, how are they planning to win this fight? Well, it all comes down to the incentives. Let's take a look at what each side is putting on the table to try and attract those billions in foreign investment. And here's where you can really see their strategies diverge. Batam is playing an aggressive game. As a free trade zone, it's offering a corporate tax rate of literally 0% for up to 20 years, plus no VAT or import/export duties. The JSSE, on the other hand, is fighting back a little differently. It's offering a super low 5% tax rate for its target industries and, this is key, a special 15% income tax rate to attract the best and brightest knowledge workers. It's really a classic battle, pure tax breaks versus incentives for top talent. But the JSCS has a really unique ace up its sleeve, and that is connectivity. They're planning passport-free QR code clearance at the border. Think about that. Plus fully digital, paperless cargo clearance to just slash wait times. And the new rapid transit system link. The whole goal here is to make crossing the border between Singapore and Johor feel like it's barely even there, for both people and for goods. Now, both sides know that in the world of business, speed is everything. So they've each set up these one-stop centers, and they're designed to just cut right through all that bureaucratic red tape. In Johor, they claim this has already cut processing times in half. And in Batam, their online system aims to get you a business ID number in under an hour. You can see the race is on to be the absolute easiest place to set up shop. But of course, no plan is ever perfect, right? Both of these contenders have their own set of hurdles and challenges to deal with. So let's take a fair, balanced look at the potential cracks in the armor for both Batam and the JSES.
Being the veteran, Batam is carrying some old baggage. On the ground, businesses run into these practical headaches, like higher electricity costs and really confusing, overlapping regulations. But the bigger worries are more structural. The zone isn't very well connected to the huge Indonesian domestic market. And, more seriously, some investors have reported issues with political interference and even local extortion.
Now, the new challenger, it's facing its own ghosts. There's a lot of skepticism because people remember other big regional projects that failed in the past. And its success really hinges on political stability in Malaysia. I mean, a new government could just change everything overnight.
Then you've got external pressures, like concerns in Singapore about losing jobs, and a big one, a looming global minimum tax reform that can make its tax incentives a lot less special.
So this isn't all just theory and planning. Real money is already flowing in, and huge global companies are starting to place their bets. So let's follow the money and see which industries are picking which zone. A perfect example of Johor's high-tech dream coming true is this massive commitment from NVIDIA. The chip giant is building AI infrastructure right there. That's a huge sign that the zone's push to become a world-class data hub is being taken very seriously. I mean, landing a name like NVIDIA, that's a massive vote of confidence in their whole strategy. But hold on, don't count Batam out. While Johor is chasing AI, Batam is doubling down on what it does best, manufacturing. Apple's partner Luxon is building a factory there to produce AirTags for the entire global market. Think about that. This isn't just any factory. It proves that for complex, high-volume electronics, Batam's decades of experience still make it the go-to choice for the biggest brands on Earth.
And you can see the results are starting to show up in the numbers, but in different ways. Now, we can't compare these two figures directly, but they show where each zone is really shining. Johor is pulling in these huge future commitments, logging a record 30 billion ringgit in approved investments in just one quarter. Meanwhile, Batam is flexing its current muscle, with its exports surging by over 30% in early 2022 to hit $2.1 billion. The big takeaway here is that both of them are showing serious momentum.
So after all that, where does this leave us? You know, it's easy to look at this as a simple fight with only one winner. But what if the end game is something else entirely? What if all this intense competition is actually creating something much, much bigger? And that's really the final question to think about. Is this a zero-sum game, where one zone has to win and the other has to lose? Or could this rivalry, this whole battle for billions, actually end up lifting both of them up? And, in the process, forge the world's next great economic superregion, right in the heart of global trade. The race is on.